And a recent study of New Year's resolutions found that helping others was one of the top 10. And as Lee Cowan reports, that resolution has really hit home for one man in Los Angeles.
Life is good.
For most parents, when a child leaves the nest, it's usually for good. But at age 51, Tony Tolbert has come home again.
Thank you for the love that we share. Amen.
Amen.
And it's for all the right reasons, or so says his mom.
He is so giving, and he's always been that way.
Tony grew up in a home that always seemed to have a spare bed, thanks to his father, Jimmy Tolbert. An entertainment lawyer in Los Angeles, Tony's dad extended a hand to almost anyone down on their luck. In fact, Tony can't remember a time there wasn't someone extra living in their house. And that gave this Harvard-educated attorney an idea.
If I consider myself a generous person, then be generous, practice generosity.
Tony decided to take his dad's generosity one step further. He announced he was moving back home because he was giving his own fully furnished LA home to a family he'd never even met, rent-free for a full year.
I said, have you lost it?
Tony insisted he hadn't lost anything. In fact, he'd gained something. Perspective.
You don't have to be Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or Oprah, that we can do it wherever we are with whatever we have. And so for me, I have a home that I can make available.
But to whom? Tony sought out a shelter for homeless women and children called Alexandria House. It was there he found Felicia Dukes.
They had a young man that wants to donate their house to you for a year. And I'm looking at her like, what? Like, are you serious?
You didn't think it was real?
No. Well, here we are.
Felicia had been sharing this single room at the shelter with 3 of her children. But it was for kids only. Her older son couldn't join them. So not only was the family homeless and broke, but separated. Until, that is, last weekend, when the boxes arrived at Felicia's new home, Tony's old one. And shortly after the boxes, her son showed up too. With one gesture, Tony's house had become a stranger's real home.
My heart just fills up and stuff. I'm just really happy.
And those weren't the only tears of joy.
What do you think your dad would think?
Oh, I know what my dad would think.
Which is?
Tony's dad doesn't know of his son's generosity. He's suffering from Alzheimer's disease. But the lessons he taught are far from forgotten.
Kindness creates kindness. Generosity creates, generosity. Love creates love. And if we can share some of that and have more stories about people doing nice things for other people and fewer stories about people doing horrible things for other people, that's a better world. Nice.
Not a bad thought to begin the new year.
Riley, you gonna pray?
For CBS This Morning, I'm Lee Cowan in Los Angeles.
It's a wonderful story.
A wonderful story, and a good point made by him about sharing more of the good things people do for one another than the bad things.
And it's amazing how something fairly simple can be so powerful.